Hey, Dr. Sands here, and welcome to HCAD 490 Undergraduate Healthcare Administration Capstone course. You made it. You made it through the program, and you're now at your last course to complete to finish up. Well, I'm excited about this course because I was the lead design here on this course, and it is a unique course in itself, the way that we all put it together. So a lot of good work went into this course. I wanted to take a few minutes to just walk through it with you to point out a few key characteristics of the course so you can just dive in and get going. All right, well, as you can see, just from logging in, as you get to the landing page here, it looks virtually the same, and there's just a few, like I said, a few key characteristics that I want to point out to make you aware of as you look to get going. I'm super excited for you. Well, as usual, syllabus, ask professor if you got any questions for me, and then the community. So pop in there and say hi to everybody, introduce yourself so you can get a sense of community. All right, well, let's go ahead and jump into week one, where we typically start. And, I would also suggest in this class, like any other classes, take a look at the weeks so you have an idea what's ahead of you as well. But let's go ahead and jump into week one if we can. Okay, so again, it looks very similar to your other classes. You may say, Dr. Sands, so what's different? Aha, I'm glad you asked. Let's take a look at week one overviews. We look to get started. And as you can see, as we walk through skills for the course, what the course itself, and of course your program, student exploration, strategic focus, selection. And this really does set the course for your program. So as we scroll on down, you will see here, of course, you got Spark if you need any help. Now, deadline notice, begin working on connect segment to description, which is due next week. Begin working on Capstone strategic plan project, part one, project proposal, baseline course integration. Woo, I know it's a lot, but that's where you need, that'll be due later in the week. And this again sets the tone for the course. So I know you're saying, well, I've heard that a few times, so what's different? Right here is where significantly different for this course and the other courses you've had at the university. The Capstone strategic plan assignment is hidden until you make a segment selection in the introduction and capstone selection. So this is, you need to do this the very first thing to before you get started. And I know sometimes students like to work ahead, jump into like the discussions and maybe do that first thing, which is fine, or maybe do it a couple weeks. But you can't really do anything, I mean nothing, until you do complete this section right here. So let's jump into it. All right, so as you can see, this is due Thursday, and of course, the program or this class starts on a Monday. Due Thursday. Welcome to your capstone journey, and it's an exciting journey. In the final course of your Bachelor's of Science Health Administration program here at Los Angeles Pacific University, you will bring together everything you've learned into one meaningful strategic project. And that is, you're going to take something from every class and bake it in here. This assignment is your opportunity to show how your academic experience, leadership growth, and Christian worldview come together to address a real healthcare challenge. And as if you've read my bio, I spent 25 years working in the healthcare segment at large organizations as United Health Group. At one time, the fifth biggest company in the world when I worked there. I've worked for Kaiser Permanente, Blue Shield of California, and a few consulting firms in the healthcare segment. So I actually brought in a lot of my 25 years of actual real world experience and worked with amazing individuals here at LAPU to bring all this together for you to experience and look in as you look further in the healthcare segments, what that might mean for you. Okay, so you will begin by choosing one healthcare segment that fits your interest, passion, or future career plans. Your chosen segment will help shape the rest of your capstone, i.e., this class. Every paper, draft, and strategy you create will connect to this focus. And one of the reasons we look to give you these options is their healthcare is a very large industry, from hospitals to, working for a payer like, an insurance company like United Healthcare or, Blue Shield. Those are all payers, right? Or maybe working in a finance segment, like in the revenue cycle, or you want to work in, maybe a community setting where you're helping, individuals in your community. So again, there's a lot of moving pieces, and that's what's so exciting about healthcare is there's so many opportunities based on your passion, and that's, find your passion, and there's more than likely going to be a place where you can provide it. Yeah. Once your segment is selected, you'll build a capstone project across 4 scaffolding parts. So scaffolding means it's not like one assignment, and then a separate assignment, and then a separate assignment. It's multiple assignments, but it's all in one continuous path, and that's the path you choose. So they all tie together and build off each other. That's what when we talk about scaffolding. Each part gives you a chance to go deeper, from selecting relevant course to applying leadership concept, analyzing systems, building recommendations, and finally presenting a full strategic plan. Now, mind you, this is your capstone class. This is the last one. This class is going to be work. So be prepared, set aside the time, because this is going to be a good amount of work to get through it. But you are going to enjoy it. I know it. You'll be using 3 types of BSHA courses to confirm your capstone. Now, mind you, remember, capstone is incorporating your entire program. So how we created this, and it's really cool, your baseline course. So regardless of what path you go down, every student has the same baseline course. Okay, and I'm going to hit that in a minute. Then a required course. So baseline course, same for everybody. Your required course is very specific to the path you go down because it's relevant to your area of focus, right? So I'll show you that in a minute. And then choice-based courses. So you have base course for everybody. Your required courses was very specific to your area of focus, and then part 3 is your choice-based courses. Now there's a set that you'll choose from. Now this set, you get to pick what you want to study, and that is going to have relevance also to the path you're on. Okay. Note, you can refer to your previous course, but you don't need to direct access to them, i.e. because you're going to have, this will become apparent because it's going to give you options from the courses you've completed, but we're not saying you have to go back to those courses and do anything or get any information per se. Focus on reviewing the main topic and subject of this course and reflect on what you've learned, researched, and are continuing to explore. Throughout this course, your Christian worldview will be an important part of your leadership voice. And that is important, at a Christian university. And when we talk about a Christian worldview, it's not about doing work and interacting with others and how you treat people and expectations, etc. And just from a purely secular point of view, and then slap a Bible verse on it and say, hey, this is a Christian worldview. That's not the case. Christian worldview is we are looking at things through the lens of how Christ would look at the world and interact with people and forgiveness and just how to treat people. So a little different here at Christian University, but that's what makes it so exciting as well. Okay. So where am I here? Okay, stewardship, and that's that stewardship lens. So in looking at the way we interact with folks through that stewardship lens, talks to being part of a Christian university here. All right, so you'll be using three types of BSHA courses to inform your capstone. So ultimately, like I said, since it's capstone, it's going to be looking at all the classes you've completed wrapped into this one here. So you have your baseline courses, which are the same for each capstone path, required courses, which are specific to the path you go down, and then the choice-based courses. Those are basically, we've baked in a few courses that you can pick from to round out what your capstone looks like. So as a note here, you can refer to your previous courses, but you don't need direct access to them. So while we may mention some of the previous courses you had, and that the content that you are going through is relative to that, you don't have to actually go back into your course. Focus on reviewing the main topic and subject of this course and reflect on what you've learned, researched, or the continuing to explore. Throughout this process, your Christian worldview will be important part of your leadership voice, and that's what we're looking here, is to create some good Christian leaders. You'll explore how value like compassion, justice, and stewardship influence decisions, especially in the secular healthcare. Step one, review the segment option and explore the readings and videos provided. This will help you make an informed choice and give you confidence as you move forward. So healthcare it's a large industry, and there's a lot of different avenues to explore. I spent 25 years in the healthcare industry and worked in a number of different capacities. So you could work, at an insurance company, which is a payer like United Healthcare or Blue Shield. You can work at a provider like where I worked at Providence Health and Services. We're a hospital network. Kaiser Permanente, a hospital network, or a doctor's office. Or you might want to maybe work in the community sector where you're working with the community to provide health services. And those are the options. You'll get to pick one to further explore. All right, so this section sets you up to make an informed segment decision. Be thoughtful. Your path you choose now will shape the rest of your project, because once you choose a path, that's the path you'll be on for this entire course. Shape the rest of your project and help you demonstrate everything you've learned as you prepare for the healthcare field. I didn't know when I got into healthcare, I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do, and I just kind of found my way, followed my passion. Okay, so note, this assignment instructions will open once you select on the segment. So while there's a number of segments in healthcare, these are the 5 that we brought together for you to choose from. Clinical and operational administration, finance and revenue cycle management, public health and community-based administration, health informatics and digital systems, policy, regulation, and strategic leadership. So when you click on a tab, you'll see that we provided a video, and this link right here, it'll open in a new window and take you some additional reading for the segment information. So, and I would encourage you, even if you think you're like, yeah, I really do want to go into finance and revenue cycle management, well, take a minute and watch these other videos and check out some of the readings, because maybe sometimes you don't know what you don't know. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and
Thank you for watching A Healthcare Z. Today's topic,
and that's a video on YouTube. And again, if you click here, it's going to open up another tab with some really cool readings to help give you some additional information. I'm not going to open on that one because it'll don't want to go down that pathway as we do the video. So like I said, baseline courses part 1. So no matter what tab you click on, you're going to see that the baseline course is the same for each segment. But then part 2 is what's really specific to your segment focus. For example, health informatics and digital systems. The focus would be relevant to these 3 classes here that you took. But then if you go to healthcare revenue cycle, then you can see the classes change and so on and so forth, like that. Now, so your entire program is going to be based on a focus of part 1, part 2, and then as you get further into the class, you're going to make this choice here, and you're actually going to choose from 2 of the 3 focuses. Now, mind you, you're not picking the class over again. We're not saying you need to pick HCAD 300 over again or pick HCAD 420 over again. What we're saying is the course content and the focus of your capstone is going to be relevant to intro to healthcare administration. It's going to be relative to healthcare leadership. And if you pick policy and regulation as strategic leadership, then the focus will go along the lines of these classes that you've had. Okay, so it's bringing that information forward. All right, so then once you go ahead and pick your focus, like I'll pick on finance and revenue cycle management, then again, this is all just information up here to help you choose. Now the actual process to choose is scroll on down, and so I'm going to pick segment 2 right here. And then now if you want to click on that, it will show you click on here, and you're going to say my choice. All right, now as you can see, my options to choose have gone away, and now I am into this pathway. What you won't see anything different per se, but on the back, on what's happening in the background, now your capstone project is going to take you down this path of finance and revenue cycle management. And if you click segment 3, then what's in the back end and your path would be relative to that. So now you've chosen your pathway, and then you can come back to week 1. So your week 1 overview, now you've completed this already. And now you can basically get started with your class, and because you have picked what segment that you want to go down. All right, so once you pick on the discussion 1, your capstone journey begins. As you can see here, your initial post due by Thursday, discuss through Saturday, start here. Now, we also put the same thing. So if you start, this was the same link before, so we've already completed this step. We wanted to put it in a couple of locations just in case you went into this discussion section and we wanted to have it again and say, well, wait, before you start discussing, you got to pick the capstone. So now you can go ahead and get started on creating your discussion posts and going into the rest of your weeks. The main thing we wanted to communicate with this video is, because the course is a little different, that you actually get to pick a focus, to go ahead and get that focus picked first, and talked a little bit about that. I'm so excited that you're here. I know you're going to love this course, and I wish you nothing but the best, and God bless. Dr. Sands out.